Hey guys, this is Seth, Kniep'n It Real. Probably the number one most commonly asked question when it comes to selling on Amazon is how do I find a huge potential product? And so today I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. I'm going to take everything I can and put it into one video and say this is how you find an awesome product to sell. Now please know, this isn't a guarantee that product will make you money, but it sure will de-risk you a lot. Only you can get in the way of you making money. You have to make that choice for yourself. But I'll do everything I can to show you how to do it and to help you get there. So what I'll do first is I'm going to give you parameters. I'm going to give you parameters. You can write these down. Then and that's before research. Then I'm going to give you other parameters that you want to look at during research. There's the pre stuff to filter it out. You don't want to spend a ton of time looking at a product only later to find out, oh my goodness, this wasn't the right size, or this wasn't the right weight, or this was the wrong brand. At the same time, there's certain parameters that apply to the research and certain parameters that can filter out anything else. That way you save time, which is a great asset. Now, while we do this, I'm going to use Amazal. And the reason for that is Amazal is, in my opinion, the number one top tool anywhere in the world for researching products on Amazon. I've yet to find anyone prove to me otherwise. Now, Amazal is incredible because it takes you deeper than other search tools. A lot of them scan information. Amazal takes you deep on it so you understand the market. And when you understand a market, you can sell to that market effectively and solve a problem that people have. You ready? So here we go. First, you have your parameters before you do your research. Just the product itself needs to be selling in the US for between $12 and $85. Or for between 12 pounds and 85 pounds in the UK. Technically in UK, that's a little closer to 11 pounds and less than 85, but it's close enough. This range is not a black and white rule, but is a general guideline. You want your product to be not so expensive that is no longer an impulsive buy. You want a product that people will buy on impulse. People do a whole lot of research when the price is too high. They do less research when it is not as high, and therefore they buy it more regularly when it's lower price. But once you start getting below 12, it's really hard to still make a profit because the fees on Amazon only go down so much. Your fees will always be around a little over or under $5 no matter what you do. So anything on top of that is you have to take out for the expense of the product, the shipping of the product, and all those details. You don't have a lot left if you're much under $12. So between 12 and 85 is ideal. I have sold products for under 12 just by a little bit. I sold products for well over 85 and made good money. But it's hard if you're starting off. So make sure your price range is in those ranges. Number two, you want your reviews to be between 0 and 500. This means the competition won't be so intense that you cannot rank to get on the first page. If someone sees a product and it has 1,000 reviews on it and you try to sell your similar product with 0 reviews and then you get 20 or 30, 40 reviews, it's still a hard battle. But if they're 500 or lower, that means a lot of the competition is going to be 500 or lower, around that range. It's a lot easier to rank. Next, you want the product to be less than a pound or less than 453 grams. Now, if you're selling in the United Kingdom, it can be up to 997 grams or 2.2 pounds. The fees in the United Kingdom are very different than in the US. You can actually sell a heavier product and the fees will not kill you. So if you're selling in the UK, you can go up to 997 grams, which is 2.2 pounds. But in the US, you need to keep it under a pound as much as possible. Again, this is not a black and white rule. I sold products for more than a pound. But as a general rule, you're going to save a lot of money on fees when it's under a pound. Next is the size. You want to make sure that package size is no more than 18 by 14 by 8 inches. And for the UK, that would be 46 by 34 by 26 centimeters. It's almost the same actually for both, but for the US, again, it's 18 by 14 by 8 inches. A lot of people have said, well, just look at it like a shoebox. A shoebox, could it fit in a shoebox? Yeah, well, that's a great example. You could definitely do that. But again, if you keep it under 18 by 14 by 8, that's good. Now, here's a tip. If you keep it under 12 inches in any direction, it even goes into a smaller category and the fees are that much smaller or lower. And that's really good if you can do that. Next, you want few to no moving parts. If you were selling something like a rock, not going to be a problem, no moving parts. Okay, I know, it's just a rock. You're not really going to sell a rock. But something that is simple. If you're selling something like my microphone, this could sell. But because it is a microphone and it is an advanced microphone, there are some moving parts in there. There's a greater risk. If you're selling something as simple as a power strip, that's simple, has some moving parts with electrical wiring, but it's not complicated. Even better if you're selling something that goes in a kitchen that is one piece, but if it has a hinge, if it has a screw, if it has something that moves, be careful. Because the more moving parts it has, the greater chance of it breaking, the more often you get returns and you have to deal with that. And that's going to cut into your profits as well as into your time, which is another asset because it takes time to do returns on those. Last but not least, make sure it's not a seasonal item unless you're intentionally selling seasonal items. Now here's what you can do. You might get into a certain season and you have enough money where you're just going to go all out, buy a ton of something and sell it like crazy during that season. And that's fine. You can make a huge chunk of cash during that time. But if you're just starting out, I don't recommend doing that because it gives you a very limited time during the year in which you can make money. Find something that will sell all year round. A good example of a seasonal item would be Santa Claus toilet seat cover, flying kites, Halloween costumes, anything having to do with a political leader with the political leader's face on the item. Resurrection eggs, those are very seasonal. Even flying kites are kind of seasonal. I remember looking at those once and thinking, man, these are selling really well. Wait a minute, we're right now in March and April. Okay, hold on. There's wind. This is probably not the best item to be selling right now because it's not going to be selling during Christmas when it's snowing. People don't fly kites in the snow unless, it's some crazy snowman or something. So again, I'm going to go through these one more time. Price between $12 and $85. Reviews between 0 and 500 reviews. Less than £1 in the US. Less than 997 grams in the UK. Package size no bigger than 18 by 14 by 8 inches. Few to no moving parts. And not a seasonal item. If you use these parameters and that potential product passes all of these, now you need to go to the next step. Keep in mind, you may find a product that matches 80% of these. And it might be a little over £1 or a little bit too big. Or maybe just slightly seasonal. That doesn't mean don't go with it. I'm just saying as a general rule, use these to guide you, to de-risk yourself as much as you can. Once you've done that, you can now begin your research. Now, what I love about Amazow is this. You can go in here and set it up under settings so that it already has these filtered out for you. I already have my price filtered out. I have my reviews filtered out, how heavy it can be, and the package size. That's awesome. I don't have to go in here and change that. And for Amazon UK, by the way, if you get their established version, you can get this. Same thing. I can filter the price 11 to 65. I can filter out the reviews, the pounds, and again, the size of the package itself. Once you've done that, all you need to do is to begin hunting for products right here. The way you do this is you click on Hunt for Products, and it's going to automatically take you to Amazon.com or Amazon.co.uk. Again, you can get the UK version if you have the established plan. The Amazon.com version is free. This costs money, this does not. I'll just start with Amazon.com. I go here, and let's say I am trying to sell, let's try kitchen. It's looking for products that match the exact same parameters or settings that I set up before. It's looking and it's going to filter them out based on that. And bam, I already found one. I click right here. See right here? Click it. And it takes me there automatically, saves me time. Copper Chef 2-piece knife set. This is cool. This is a knife that is made out of copper. It just looks awesome. I hit save. Oh, by the way, look, the price is within the range. The weight's going to be within the range. All those things that I did, it saved me tons of time. Can you imagine how long it would take for me to go through Amazon.com or .co.uk and just hunt and go and keep trying to find something that matches that? This did it in literal seconds. I love that. So I click on save. I come over here, see where it says return to dashboard. I can click there or here. I click on return to dashboard. It's going to take me back there. And now we have it here. Now here is the next set of parameters that you want to look out for. Now that you're beginning to research, you have a new set of parameters. So you have the first stage, you filtered out, you found a great product. Now here's where people make a lot of mistakes. Once they find a product, here's what they think. Oh, I'm going to sell that copper knife set and make money. No, you're not. You're going to sell the solution it provides. It's providing a solution. It might end up looking like this. It may not. The question is, why are people buying it? You now have moved from finding a product, which is just a gateway, to looking at a market. A market is more important because it tells you where the money is coming. One product cannot make you money, but a market can. And all a product is it's meeting the needs of that market. That perspective will make all the difference in the world when it comes to differentiation and how you build your business. This is the difference between an amateur and a professional. I started out this way, and I even started making money. But as I've learned and I've grown, I realize it's about the market. So now we're in the market stage. Number one parameter for the market when you're doing research, you want between 3 and 20 strong competitors. No more. Can you have more in some situations? Yes. Why does this matter? Let me show you exactly why. Let's say I'm on Amazon.com. and I am searching for copper knives. And you're selling copper knives. You want your listing to show up on this first page. But guess what, guys? There are approximately, usually, around 20 search results on that first page. Now, if you're selling in clothing in a few categories, it's going to be different. They're going to be in columns. They have a lot more. But as a general rule of thumb, you're going to find around 20 search results, not including the sponsored ads. You realize what this means? Because 70% of all the sales happen on the first page. That means your chances dropped 70% of selling that product if you're on the second page. You've got to get on that first page. Well, if you already have 20 strong competitors or 21 strong competitors, you have to be better than one of the best to get there. And that's going to take more time and more money, more differentiation, more talking to your supplier, longer waits, and a lot more money on ad campaigns. Therefore, if you have fewer than 21 competitors, 20 or 19 or 15 or 10, 5 to 10 in my opinion is ideal, now it's really easy to get on that first page and to get your sales. But keep this in mind. When you're looking at a product, the fewer the competitors are, that also means the less the demand. So you have to balance this out. If you're limited on capital, go with a little lower demand and definitely lower competitors. If you got more capital margin and knowledge and experience, you might go with something with higher demand, but also higher competitors. You see that? But as a general rule of thumb, try to keep it 20 or under competitors, and I mean strong competitors. There could be 2,000 competitors. I don't care. All the ones I care about are the ones that are really good. So you come over here and you start searching and you look, okay, so I've got to get on this first page. So now, the next thing you want to watch out for is you want less than half of the top competitors have the same brand or are sold by the same Amazon store. I'll say it again. Fewer than half of the top competitors have the same brand, are sold by the same Amazon store. Can I actually sell a pin when there's a huge brand name selling pins? Of course. As long as they're not taking all the market share. If they're taking 40% of the market share and there's other competitors who are private label, no names, doing well I can too. So don't be intimidated just because some brand names are selling it. The question is, how many of the top competitors are a major brand name? How many of the top competitors are the same brand or store? That's what makes a difference. And if it's fewer than half, you're safe. If it's more than half, don't do it. Next parameter, your daily revenue. Daily revenue is, in my opinion, the number one most important measure of a potential of a product. So in the US, I want to know that this product I'm selling is generating at least $900, no less. If it's in the United Kingdom, at least $700, no less. If it's in Canada, at least $500, no less. And I'm talking about per day. So again, if I'm selling a product, I'm selling this cool cord. This needs to be generating at least $900 in the US or more from the top competitors, not the other ones. I don't care about the 20,000 other competitors. They don't matter. It's just the top ones. Then that tells me that's strong potential. My chances of selling mine are much greater. That $900 number is not random or arbitrary. It's based on experience, my sales, and other top sellers' sales. And I put that together and thought, you know what? A common theme here I see. Generally speaking, the top competitors for this product is always 900 or more. That tells me something. UK, again, 700 or more. Canada, 500 or more. Why are they less? Because the markets are smaller. So obviously you can't expect as much. Next, median reviews of top competitors are between 0 and 500. Median. We already talked about the product itself needs between 0 and 500 reviews, but now I'm talking about median. If you look at all the reviews, all the products, the top competitors, the middle competitor has around 500 or less, not the average. If we do average, it's going to skew the numbers. We could have 2 competitors over here with 10,000 reviews each, and the remaining 8 competitors with 40. That average is going to be way higher than 500 and discourage me from selling it. But wait a minute. If there's 8 competitors who only have 45 reviews and they're doing a ton of sales a day, like 30, 40, 70 a day, 70 sales, I definitely should be considering this product. So you want to know what that middle review is. It gives you a more accurate perspective of what you can do. Again, if they can do it, I can do it too. That's the idea there. Now for the UK, I like to use a little bit of a tighter median review of 0 to 300. Not always, it depends on the competition or the demand, but as a general rule, it's going to be a little smaller because of the UK market. Canada, I like to use around the same as well, between 0 and 300. And again, I'm talking about median reviews of the top competitors. Earlier, when we talked about finding a product, the product itself needs to have under 500 reviews. Now we're talking about of the top competitors, the middle one has how many reviews? And I like to use the 500 as a measuring mark for the US and 300 or less for UK and Canada. Finally, the last and definitely the least, is the combined search volume. What I mean is if you are selling copper knives, watch this. I go over here and I type in copper knives. Boom. How many times a month is someone doing that on Google? Copper knives. How many times a month is someone doing that on Bing? Again, copper knives. How many times a month is someone doing that on DuckDuckGo? Do you guys get the idea here? See where I'm going with this? And again, I can type in copper knives. By search volume, I mean global search volume. By global search volume, I mean Google, Bing, DuckDuckGo, and other similar worldwide web search engines. I'm not talking about Amazon.com. It's very difficult to find the monthly search results for Amazon.com. And there are numerous keyword tools out there that lie and tell you they have those numbers when they don't. So be careful with that. Don't trust this is another reason I like Amazon, because they don't lie. They give me the truth. I trust them because they're telling the truth. How can you build a business off of a lie? You can't do that. They might make money off of you lying to you because it gives you hopeful results, but you are left spending money on the tool and not getting sales, and that's not right. And I will never run a business that way. So what you want to do is make sure it's accurate. As for the parameter, you want a combined relevant, huge emphasis on the word relevant, keyword search volume of 15,000 or more for the US, of 10,000 or more for the United Kingdom, and of 6,000 or more for Canada. This is very important. If you have at least those minimums, that tells you there's great demand for this product online. Now keep in mind, these numbers are the least dependable, because I've seen products sell out the gazoo. I mean like crazy with very low search volume. And they were selling well for us because it was a new product. Not enough people knew about it to be searching over here, but enough people who knew about it wanted to buy it. Therefore, don't use this as your final word. Search volume keyword search volume has less value than most people assume. What's far more important is sales volume, but it does matter, because this is sort of like the final support. If I see it has a strong search volume, okay, I'm definitely going in. I know I'm going to make money on this product. I shouldn't say I know, but 90% of the time, it's just going to turn out that way because I know what I'm doing. So the other key thing is the relevance. Make sure the word is relevant. How do I know if it's relevant? Let me give you an example. Let's say someone is actually searching on Amazon and they're looking for knives. They know they want some kitchen knives for cutting vegetables. And truth be told, I don't even know what these copper knives are for. But let's just say they're being used for vegetables. So I might say vegetable knife. How relevant is that to my product? Pretty relevant. If the copper knife is designed to cut vegetables, that's pretty relevant. Therefore, should I count that as search volume? Yes. But what if I just typed in knife? What if someone just types in knife? Is that relevant? No, it's way too generic. What are the chances that they're looking for kitchen vegetable copper knives, the ones I'm selling? If it's just a knife, they could be looking for a knife for carving wood. They could be looking for a razor knife, a utility knife for construction and building homes. They could be looking for a throwing knife for sport. You see what I mean? That sounded horrible. I don't mean that in a bad way. You know, for sport, throwing into a tree. Whatever the case, make sure that the words are relevant. So an example would be a vegetable knife. That would be relevant. A copper kitchen knife. That would be relevant, because the way to know is this. If someone searches copper kitchen knife, what are the chances that my product will satisfy their need? Very high. But if someone just searches knife, what are the chances? Very low. If they search hunting knife, what are the chances? Negligible. Not at all. It won't even happen. Make sure the words are relevant. Think of all the different kinds of terms someone might search for your product, that they might use searching for your product. And if your product most likely will fulfill their desire, then you could say that's relevant. Then look at the search volume for that. Now, in my coaching program, we show you how to find search volume. We even teach you some ways to find search volume in Amazon. It's hard to do, but there are ways and tools to make this happen. We also show you how to go deep on the research. How do I find how many competitors that are actually strong that I need to compare myself to? We do all that. What I would like to do for you, though, is this. We created an infographic. I have an amazing designer, and they took all this concepts and they put it all together into one simple page. And it just, in one page, it explains everything. So you can look at it and go, check, 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 not good, check, okay, we'll go with the product. Very simple. And I will send it to you. But instead of you posting your email to protect your email, just click the link below, put in your name and email, and it'll automatically send it to you, and you'll have it. And that's free, and that's just to help you out. Hey, I hope you guys are having an awesome day. This is Seth, Kniep'n It Real. There's a ton more I want to share with you, but there's a lot I'm saving for my team because they are my primary commitment. But at the same time, why not share something to help you guys out? These things have helped me. And as I grow and as I learn, I will continue to bring you more value through more training. Hey, you guys have an awesome day. Oh, and I hope you like the shirt. This is our Just One Dime shirt, and this is what I live for. Margin to do the things I love with the people I love. All right, you guys have a nice day. Bye.